talk to people every day. They lack agency. There's nobody struggling. I don't care what they are struggling with. By the time you talk to them, they lack agency. Google it. Agency. You can Google it when you have time. The ability to influence. I'm not talking of agency like a company or a department. You get what I'm saying? This is different. The ability to influence your thoughts. Your thoughts are subject to you. Your actions are subject to you. But guys, I promise you, the size of your pocket, the weight of your personal peace, the quality of your legacy, when death is sure and you are at that departure lounge of life, your pocket, your peace, your legacy will be proportional to how much control you exercise or did not exercise over your thoughts and actions. How many of you need a bunch of keys to open the door? Do you need a bunch of keys to open the door? How many keys do you need? One. One key, the right key. The world is too much. You don't need to know everything in the world. You got a car today. Do you know everything in the car that you are driving? You don't know everything in the engine. You don't know a lot of things in the car. In fact, there are more things you don't know about your car than the things you know. The things you know in the car that they gave you a driver's license from is enough to move that car and drive safe on the road to keep other people safe. Nobody's going to teach you about plugs in the driving school. They're not going to teach you about piston and begin to teach you all of that. You don't need to know all things. You just need to know the things that are critical for your unique journey. So the things I'm sharing with you are prerequisites. Once you miss them, it doesn't matter who is praying for you. You are going to be another weak, common, ordinary commodity on this face of the earth. Billions have come into this world. Billions have left unnoticed. Nobody knew that they came. How much more that they left? Listen, you can be one of them. Your dad was. Your mom was. Your great-grandfather was. The chances you are going to live this life ordinary is very high. Let nobody fool you. I don't care if you are a Muslim, Christian, I don't know who is supporting you, Babalawo, pastor, bishop, I don't care. Just because you are human, worse that you are African, worse that you are black, the chances of being nothing in this world is very high. You're already jogging towards it. Look at your age and look at where you are. There are more fools around you than wise people. Most of your friends are not clear. They are guessing through life. I'm passing to you some of their guesses in the name of counsel and advice and friendship. Most of you don't have friends. You are in a soccer game where somebody is the soccer and somebody is the soccer. You are busy sucking each other, draining each other, pretending to be in a relationship. The goal of association is 3. Peace, relief, and progress. It doesn't matter what association. Employee, employer, parent, child, child-parent, neighborliness, boss, marriage, husband, wife, friendship. It doesn't matter what the relationship is. 3 things must prove its credibility. Peace, relief, and progress. If you hire anybody into your company who is not giving you those 3, it's not a staff, it's a virus. He needs to go. Come on now. Look, I'm not a nice guy. No, I say that very humbly. I'm not a nice guy. And you used to worry me. I used to be bothered about it. I used to be bothered that I'm not nice. But as I matured, I realized that it's my God-given defense system to shield myself from the nuisance that is a constant in this world. There's something called nuisance value. the value of an entity's contribution to the underdevelopment, disorderliness, and irritation of society. That's nuisance value. Like, once you drive one way, you are contributing to the disorderliness. Are you getting it? Irritation and underdevelopment of society. There's nuisance value. And some people carry that nuisance value with swag. There's something called confident ignorance. You don't know anything, but you are not aware. So you carry your ignorance with swag, feeling cool. This is an empty barrel. Who, by the gift of nature, is handsome, is 6 foot tall, like that is a quality in the bank. I tell somebody, the next time you are broke, go to the bank. Tell them, excuse me, are you the bank manager? I say, yes, I'm 6 foot tall. I'm broad-chested. Look at my biceps. Can I have $2,000? They will jail you. They will jail you. I tell girls, this body, men, young people, let me talk to you here. This thing you carry on your body, it has a lifespan. Ask your mom. Nobody is seeing you. It's all in your mind. After a while, you are going to find out. The same breast you are. I told a girl, you are a girl, not a mother. You don't need to breastfeed the whole world. Girl, not mom. You don't have any child. You are breastfeeding adults. Hello? Anyone who is 18, listen, am I talking to you? Once you are 18, you are supposed to be ready for any level of responsibility, including a jail time. If I slap you now and you are 17, I'm 53. If I slap you and you are 17, I'm slapping a minor. I can be arrested. No matter what happens between us. Even if I'm right, I can still be arrested because I'm slapping a minor. If I postpone the anger and slap you 1 year after, you offended me now, I say, okay, I left you. 1 year after I came back, Pwah! The law says it's two fighting. Two fighting. You are now an adult. You are 18. You are supposed to be ready for any level of responsibility, including a jail time. Listen, when parents tell me my son is not ready for internship, my daughter cannot date, my son cannot start a job or start a business, when they tell me all of those things, I believe them. I believe them. You know why? Because what they are not saying is that they have failed in their responsibility to get the child ready for society by age 18. By age 18, your child should be able to marry, should be able to run a bank, should be able to set up a business, should be able to get a job, to do anything. Because the social justice system says an 18-year-old is equal to an 80-year-old. An 18-year-old and an 80-year-old are the same. How did I know? If they commit the same crime, they are going to the same prison. They will wear the same uniform. There will be no special attention to the 18-year-old because he's 18. There will be no worse attention to the 80-year-old because he's 80. 18 or 80, you are both the same because you are both adults. Am I talking to you? And young people, look at your life. When you are 25 in Ghana or in Nigeria or in Conakry or in Dakar, what do you think? You look at your environment and compare your excellence to the foolishness in your environment. No. Compare your excellence to the excellence in the universe. In other words, everybody is praising you in Ghana. Will the Americans praise you if they see you doing this same thing they are praising you for? Will the Americans praise you? Will the Germans praise you? Will the British praise you? Will the French praise you? If what you have been praised for cannot pass the test of universality and is only passing the test of locality, you are a local fabric strengthened by the deposit of ignorance and darkness in your locale. Listen to me. You can't be a millionaire in naira and be a thousandaire in pounds. You can't be a millionaire in cities and be a thousandaire in dollars. Once you are a millionaire, you should be a millionaire in every currency. Once you are a millionaire, you should be a millionaire in any currency. Because if you are a shoe, to be a shoe, you must be a shoe in every country. You can't be a shoe in Accra and be a jacket in Jamaica because you crossed a border. You can't be tall in Kumasi today and be short in Accra tomorrow because you took a few buses down here. Once you are tall in Ukraine where there is war. You are tall in Sokoto, you are tall in Accra, you are tall in New York. Once you are a table in Accra, you are a table in Ukraine where they are bombing. You can be a bombed table in Ukraine, but you won't be a bombed lion. Because the strength of a material is in its universal appeal. Its global weight. A watch must be a watch in every country. A shoe must be a shoe in every country. A lion must be called a lion in any country. A millionaire should be a millionaire in every country. If you want to be a millionaire tomorrow, if it's the figure you are interested in, just take about how many cities? Just take about 50,000 cities and go to Zimbabwe. Once you land in Zimbabwe, you are a billionaire. Straight. Billionaire. Many years ago, I came to Accra when CDs was in the crisis at the time. I came to Accra. The guy who helped me with my bag, when he got to the hotel, I gave him a tip of about 500,000 cedis. Only me. Tip. The guys helping me. By the time I was leaving the hotel, I'm not exaggerating, I had given about 50 million cedis. Only me. I called my wife, I said, we've made it, we didn't even know. I'm giving out millions here. Millions. Every day, millions. That's what I'm giving people. I said, wow, I'm so rich. But it's not in the figure, it's in the value. So guys, when you look at the world, what is going on? What is going on? We've believed everything but our own selves. Our continent called Africa, the world's single largest liability on one spot. Africa. Not that it was designed to be so. A lot in our history made it so, but more in our present and foolish thinking made it so. We produce what we don't consume. We consume what we don't produce. There's no economy in the world that can survive on that equation. We have received aid more than any continent has received aid. We are still the world's poorest continent, telling us that a begging bowl is not a pathway to prosperity of any kind. And for every degree of favor that you seek, you lose a level of freedom, whether you are aware of that loss or not. Favor is not free, somebody is paying the price. When everybody, the gospel is free, who told you it's free? Jesus paid the price. Don't confuse what was made available for what is free. It's not cheap. Cost somebody's blood. Am I talking to you? For every £1 you receive in aid, you give back 14 pounds in trade restrictions. You have never been helped. Let me tell you how it works. You have a big farm. You produce cocoa. You produce cocoa. You have $10 to produce cocoa. You use your $10 to produce cocoa. You use another $10 to cultivate the cocoa. You use another $10 to harvest the cocoa. At the end of the harvest, you made extra $30 on top of the cost of $30. How much do you now have? So you feel cool. With your $30, I bought your cocoa. You spent $30 growing, cultivating, and harvesting. I paid you $60 for it. And you feel very cool. And then you take your $60, you change your car, change your house, change your son's school, started living large. I take your cocoa to Italy to produce chocolates, expensive chocolates. I gave you a break to feel important for 6 months. I came back after 6 months to sell the chocolate to you at $90. I collected your first $30 that you had. I collected the $30 I gave you back. Then I now collected another $30 that you did not have. So now you are worse. So I gave you a temporary feeling that you are producing something. But I am coming back to take all that I gave you and more. So you gave me gold. I went away. I came back with expensive bangles. You gave me uranium. I came back with military power to defeat you. And today, Africa has continued to pride itself in its natural resources. And natural resources in the 2000s is a disadvantage. Finished goods, particularly those that are authored in digital format, are the ones that control the world. Am I talking to you? Stay with me. There are so many things you pride yourself in. You want to look in a certain way, young people now walk in it. Say, hey man, hey yo man, what's up? Well, your great-grandfather didn't do, hey yo, what's up? Your father didn't do, hey yo, what's up? What did you get? And you have never left Ghana. So what did you get? Hey yo man, what's up? Where did you get it from? I'll tell you where you got it from. Hollywood. Thank you. Thank you. It's impossible though. Let me just tell you. I'm going to try, but it's impossible. Let me just tell you that. I'm not going to fly 12 hours in, 12 hours back, to come and talk for 25 minutes. No way. No way. And I told you I'm not nice. But I got my comfort when I started reading Galatians. I've checked all the fruit of the Spirit. There's no niceness there. Love, joy, peace. No nice. So I'm free now. I don't have to be nice. Because when you try to be nice, you are going to try to make people like you. When you try to be nice and you make people like you, you will say no when you should say yes. You will say yes when you should say no. You will smile when you should frown. You will frown when you should smile. You will be busy trying to be in everybody's book but yours. Don't try to be nice, try to be respected. They may not like you, but they will respect you. So I'm never interested in being liked, as long as I keep my respect. Come on now. Are you here? But let me go. Let me go. I'm going to try. I promise you. Where's the sir that gave me that note? I promise you, sir, Oga, I'm going to try. That I assure you. But I don't know when I will finish, but I know when I will not finish. I will not finish by that time. And don't forget, I am more under pressure than you because I have a flight to catch today. So me too, I know. I'm checking myself. So let's go. Can I continue now? Okay. So look at what is happening in the world. Your age mates in the world are changing the world. First of all, a disservice has happened to all of us. All of us. Part of what happened to us when the white man visited us was he took our education and gave us the classroom. And we have been in the classroom for over 60 years now. We have never graduated. Because we don't learn in the classroom. We learn through observation and apprenticeship. That's how we learn. The classroom has the same qualities as the prison system. You go to jail for a number of years. You go to school for a number of years. You wear uniform in jail. You wear uniform in school. You have a curriculum in jail. You have a curriculum in school. Hello? Everything in the jail system is regimented. Everything in school is regimented. The jail is trying to produce a type of person for society. The school is trying to produce a type of person for society. In other words, if 2 plus 2 is 4, and 2 multiplied by 2 is 4, then 2 plus 2 and 2 multiplied by 2 are equal. Am I correct? Because both of them are equal to 4. So if the jail system and the school system produce the same process, then the jail and the school are the same. The more academics you acquire, the more of your authenticity you lose. Don't bring me down. Just listen to me. You can have a PhD and not be educated. In fact, I meet more people with PhDs, master's degree, who are not educated. Somebody has Master of Business Administration. He's the master of business administration. And the person paying his salary did not go to school. He's the master of business administration. He should be the one controlling the whole business. But he's a staff under somebody who is not the master. I'm going to come down now. I talk faster when I'm on the floor. The stage can be intimidating for me. Are we together? When you go to school, what you are acquiring is not education. Education is a choice born out of observation, questioning, otherwise called creative rebellion. The idea that anything coming from man is disruptible. That completeness cannot be shared by another human being. That on the best day of the thought of a human being, there is an incompleteness in it. Such that when human beings teach you as I'm teaching you now, you still have to sit down to audit what I am saying, because those who pass information also pass error. And so when you listen to human beings, you listen with an attitude of rebellion. When I say rebellion, I don't mean being rude. That's why I added creative to it. The idea that you know that if a human being is saying it, there's an extension to it. No human being can speak in the finality of thought. Come on. We know in part, we prophesy in part. You can't act perfectly. Listen, guys, your pastor is not perfect. Your pope is not perfect. Your imams are not perfect. Your gurus are not perfect. On their best day, they are still humans. There is a frailty they contain whether they like it or not. The more you mature, the more invisible your frailties become, but they are there. There's no human being that can outgrow imperfection. He has never been born, she will never be born. If you are married, you are waiting for your husband to supply perfect behavior. You are waiting for your wife to supply perfect behavior before you can find happiness. You will never be happy. Because the husband that can supply perfect behavior will never be born. The wife that can supply perfect behavior will never be born. When a marriage is working, it's two humble people who have accepted the imperfection of each other. You will never find perfection in any human being. And when you point fingers at your husband and point fingers at your wife, it is your highest stage of arrogance and personal commitment to scripted lying, to pretend that you don't know your own misery and act like only your husband's or wife's only exist. Your misery is in you and you know it. You're not perfect. Nobody is perfect. When perfect information enters you, it becomes imperfect. Because you can't contain perfection. Yeah. Sir, planet Earth cannot contain perfection. Once anything, listen, if the Garden of Eden was perfect, the serpent should not be there. Listen, if Adam was perfect, Eve would have been unnecessary. Come on. Let me shock you further. If today can ever be perfect, tomorrow will be unnecessary. Tomorrow will be useless. Tomorrow is only important because it is the hope of the betterment of today. Today, on its best moment, cannot be perfect. There's something in tomorrow that will give today a better meaning. And every day you live, you create a new past. That is why your past cannot be your jail. Because tomorrow is the comfort of history. Am I talking to you? When you really mature, part of the beginning of it is to be able to tolerate yourself. There's no reward in judging yourself. You are just feeling important, thinking that you serve a punishing God. You are a fool, in short. Putting a demand on you that nobody is putting on you. Am I talking to you? When I became a pastor years ago, I wore shorts to church. I was an associate pastor. A co-pastor who has been a pastor before me called me and said, you shouldn't be wearing, you should not wear. I said, first of all, I'm not feeling bad. I need you to know. I hear you. I won't wear it again, but I'm not feeling bad. Because I have not been pastor before. I'm not an experienced pastor. There is a law of the first attempt. This is my first time I'm becoming a pastor. So I must learn and grow. So I'm not even, I hear you, I won't wear it again, but honestly, I'm okay. I'm very happy. The same thing in marriage. When I make a mistake, I remind myself, you are not a veteran married man. This is your first time you have married. I've not been married before. If somebody has married like 3-4 times, we can say, why are you still doing this? You are a veteran. This is getting married. I'm going to make mistakes. I've not been married before. The same thing with life. I've not died before. I've not come before. This is my first shot in life and the last. I will make mistakes. I'm making, I'm still going to make. Hello? I know some of you religious people have. We know what you do. That face is the face you wear to deceive all yourself that you are something that you are not. You are struggling like all of us. We know. That face is your script. It's your religious script that makes you feel better than somebody else when you are actually weaker than them. You know, there's no lazy person in the world. There's nobody lazy. It's a clash of priority. You tell somebody you cannot study physics. Somebody who cannot study physics can play soccer from morning till night. That's not lazy. If you are lazy, you should be a lazy bone. You should not be able to do anything. If you can pray for 4 hours, but you cannot study biology, you are not lazy. It's a clash of expectation and a clash of priority. They are putting you in a place you are not interested in. So you are going to struggle there. They say you are lazy. If they put you in a place of your genius, your energy begins to thrive. Am I talking to you? So, understand. So, somebody came to me and said, we need to be life coach, we need to get a certification and do this. It makes sense. If you can afford it, do it. If you can afford it, do it. But if you cannot afford it, God will not place your miracle beyond your reach. Neither will he put it in the hands of your adversary. So God will not make a demand where he has not invested. If God says, go there, and they say, human beings say, to get there, you need certification. And God says, go there, and he has not given you money for certification. He has not given you the resources for certification. That means the human beings are under a delusion that you need to discern to free yourself from their jail. Because the first person who certified people, who certified him? Let's go there. The first person who said, so this is what is called life coaching. Okay, we hear you. But who certified you? How did you know? Okay, this is it. You received your own 0 to 1. You are now forcing, you branded what you received 0 to 1. You are now telling the whole world that they cannot be who you are except they start from your 1 to infinity. In other words, you started from 0, created 1, and now told all of us, you can't be me except you take 1. But how did you become you? There was no one when you became you. So can all of us know that place you got yours? Those who can afford 1 will take 1. Those who cannot afford 1 should come into 0 and pick their own. Because 0 is not nothing. 0 is not empty. The world was formed out of nothing. Listen, I'm talking to you right now. There's no connection between this microphone and your phone. You don't have any device on you. You are hearing me clearly. There is 0 between this phone, this microphone, and your phone. Between 2 phones, a phone in Japan, a phone in Accra, there is 0 between both of them, but they are talking to each other. Because though it looks like 0, there are properties there you cannot see with your empty eyes. It doesn't mean 0 is empty. Popular culture makes you to be afraid of 0. You don't want to be around 0. When there's no money in your pocket, you are worried. It's because you don't have money. When you really have money, you are going to know that projects in this world are not done by money. When you still think, I need money, I get you. What you are saying to me that you don't know is that I'm small, inexperienced. I'm very small, I'm inexperienced, and I'm not doing big things yet. When you are doing big things, you are going to realize that it's not money you need. I'll tell you what you need before I finish. Am I talking to you? So, when you go to school, you acquire a certificate. A certificate is the aggregation of fellow human beings like you about a standard they set, which they said everybody must conform to be like them. So, somebody told me one time, you have a bow leg. I said, yes, you have a straight leg. He said, yeah, I have a straight leg, but you have a bow leg. I said, yeah, I have a bow leg, but you have a straight leg. Who said bow leg is a problem? Human beings who set a standard that this shall be the accepted leg. And then you want me to pretend that I'm not aware that human beings set that standard. And you want me to believe it's a natural standard set by God. Therefore, when I see people with straight leg, humility should appear out of me. And when I find myself with bow leg, a low self-esteem should appear out of me. Just because human beings have chosen their own path and defined their own standard. I will not be in that prison. You will be there. Bow leg is a type of leg. K-leg is a type of leg. Straight leg is a type of leg. None of them is better than the other. Human beings in their standard set a stage and chose when you will cry and when you will be happy. Who told you you have to speak good English? Your leaders who accepted the standard of a foreign country in the name of colonialism to judge you by the language that God did not give you is the highest level of abuse. And now your life will progress or not progress based on your ability to master another man's language. You speak your language very well. You don't have a problem with that. That's what God gave you. God must be stupid to have given you a language that is useless, such that you cannot progress in the world except you master another man's language. No! It's human beings, and they gave it a good name, Lingua Franca. Hello? Let me shock you a bit. I'm going to leave here soon, but let me shock you a bit. Have you noticed that the poorest countries in the world have many languages? Have you noticed that the poorest countries in the world have a lingua franca? Have you noticed that the richest countries in the world don't have lingua franca? They have one language. The Germans speak German. The French speak French. The English speak. The Chinese speak Mandarin. The Nigerians speak. The Ghanaians speak. Hello? The four subjects of development, is physics, chemistry, biology, and math. Physics, chemistry, biology, and math. Stay with me. Are you thinking with me? Physics, chemistry, biology, and math. Those four subjects make everything. Every other subject is trying to sell what they make, distribute it, protect it, share it, or do something. But the subject of creation, of building, is physics, chemistry, biology, and math. The nations who master those subjects in practical terms are the ones you call first world countries. Because you need those subjects to make a plane. You need those subjects to make this speaker, to make a car. You need physics, chemistry, biology, and math. To be a doctor, you need those four subjects. You need those four subjects. Every other subject is only as meaningful as what those four subjects create. Either they are selling it, they are distributing it, they are protecting it, or they are whatever they are doing with it. But those four subjects must create before any other subject can be useful. Am I talking to you? Those countries you respect learned those four subjects in their language. The Chinese learned it in Mandarin. The French learned it in French. The German in German. The English in English. You? So a young boy came to me many years ago to ask for money from his uncle to raise a new money for a new engine of his taxi car. But we knew him when he was young. He was very brilliant. So I asked him, why are you driving a taxi? You were smart. I thought you would go to university. He said, yeah, I tried to, but I couldn't pass English. I struggled with literature. I had only 3 credits. I needed 5 credits to gain admission. And one of them is that I have to pass English. So I was struggling with 3 credits, 4 credits. I did GCE, I did WAEC, school set. It wasn't just working. So my dad said he was tired. I had to go learn a trade. And then here I am driving a taxi. I said, wait a minute. What subjects did you pass? He said, I passed economics, I passed commerce, and government. I said, okay, you passed those subjects. Question. What language did you use to pass those subjects? What language? Is it English you use? You say yes, and you passed. But you failed the English that you use to pass these 3 other subjects. I said, okay, so what is the goal? It means that when the examiner is testing his paper, the examiner is not testing the use of English. Because if he's testing that, our boy can use English enough to pass 3 other subjects. It means when the examiner is testing his paper, the examiner is testing the technicality of English. Meaning that no matter how well you can speak, if you can't tell the difference between a pronoun and an adjective, or a clause and a phrase, you are not going to pass this subject, no matter how well you can use it. So what is the goal of lingua franca? Is it communication or sophistication? Because if it is communication, our boy can communicate enough to pass 3 other subjects. The goal must be sophistication then, because what it means is, if I tell you now, my brother, I'm go to Lagos. My brother, I'm go to Lagos. You understand what I mean, don't you? You get me? That's communication. I don't need to say, my brother, so I'm trying to get to Lagos. I don't need to say that. To understand me, that's sophistication. Once I say, my brother, I dey go Lagos, you get me? Pidgin is in every language. There's Pidgin French, there's Pidgin English, there's Pidgin German, there's Pidgin Hausa, Pidgin Yoruba, Pidgin Portuguese, Pidgin Swahili. There's Pidgin in every language. Because Pidgin is not an embarrassment. Pidgin is the proof of a people's struggle with an original language. So, if I say I'm go to Lagos, it's Pidgin, yes, but it fulfills the standard of lingua franca, communication, because you understand me. But now, because I say I'm go, I cannot progress in my own country. Now, I can speak Yoruba very well, but it's not enough. My nature is my oppression. My nature has become my loss. Human standard has become my chance. And so, regardless of how God made me, I am an endangered species, except I can fulfill the standard of another man's language. Think about it. How many of you follow soccer? Soccer. The best coaches in the world don't speak good English. Klopp speaks terrible English. You know, we go, we win, that's how he talks. The guy in Manchester United, what's his name? In Manchester City, what's his name? Pep Guardiola, he's Spanish. You know, we come tomorrow, we come play and score. That's how he talks. Jose Mario, bad English. Tomorrow we go, we come down, I'm special one, we score. That's how he talks. Clemens Westhoff, one of the most successful Super Eagles coaches. You know how he talks? Tomorrow we play Yakini, go there, he score. Straight. These guys win all their matches. Champions League, European League, World Cup, League. They win everything with their bad English. And guess who they are training? English people. I'm going somewhere. Stay with me. And then you sit somewhere. Do you know you cannot even marry the girl of your dream? Because if you go to her house to pick her up to church, and her dad says, sorry, where are you guys going? Say, good morning, Daddy. We are going to church. The dad will say, excuse me, what did you say? Say, well, we are going to church. Listen, except the dad is also a church-speaking father, so that by sympathetic resonance, they can find some alliance. That madness, he will just call his daughter and say, you have not found your husband. The girls in this room will judge me if I stand up here and I say, so tomorrow we are in charge of this program and our choice is to move because tomorrow is church. Listen, that's it. If I come here and I say, I want to thank my host, I'm from America, and I'm go to Lagos tomorrow, one by one, you begin to carry your bags. One by one. Who is this blast from the past? What did Papa Femi did to us like this? What have we deserved? What did we do to deserve this pack of error? Laughable, right? You will never develop until the masses of your people can think in their nature. To superimpose English language on you is to reduce your potential. You don't think in your language anymore. You think in English. And the Englishman is alive. How do you beat him? The Englishman must die before your knowledge of English can work. You are learning English. He's an Englishman. Where are you going to go? I'm going somewhere. So the goal of academics is regulation and containment. At best, order. 2 people can put a knife in your tummy. 2 of them. One can wake you up 3 hours after. The other one cannot wake you up again. That's the difference between a surgeon and a killer. When you need anything done in your tummy, how do you know they want to go and meet? Academics. 2 guys can carry a gun. One is a police officer, one is an assassin. If you need protection, how do you know they want to go and see? Academics. 2 guys can argue. One is a debater, one is a lawyer. Now you have a case in court. How do you know they want to go and see? Because you go and carry the debater. He will debate you to jail. So how do you know they want to go and see? Academics. Academics allows you to know this is a lawyer who can set you free in court. But if you think all of life starts and ends there, you are missing. While academics is important, it is not education. The goal of academics is regulation, order, and containment. The guys who form the curriculum have an idea of who you must become. There's a lot of behavior embedded into the curriculum. You will not surprise them. You are going to become it. The only way you will not become that curriculum and take the best out of it is to be educated. What does it mean to be educated? 4 things. Number 1, the ability to experience your world. In other words, be open to everything. Everything. Experience your world. Question it. Question everything. Question it deep enough to know the options that exist in it. And to know which of those options to embrace as a matter of supreme importance and urgency. By that standard, if you cannot do any one of them, even with a PhD, you are not educated. What does that mean? To experience your world. To question it. How many of you know that the lion can shave? The lion has been due for shaving for years. You know why he cannot shave? He can't say. He can't ask himself, why must I have beards? Do you know there was a time you and lion don't shave? Do you know there was a time you and lion were in the same jungle? There were no cities. There were no villages. There were no hamlets. There were jungle. You and lion were in the same jungle, hunting each other. At a time, the lion is naked. You two, you were naked. All human beings were naked at the time. But because we have something here called the brain, we can question. The lion cannot question. Till today, the lion is still naked. Who is interested in the nakedness of a lion? Nobody. The lion is still naked. We are no longer naked. Why are we no longer naked? Because we questioned it. I'm cold. Why must I be cold? In this cold, my cousin died last year. I survived it. My auntie died a year before. I survived it. It seems there's something about this cold period. I have to do something this year to cover myself. I started thinking, why must I stay in this jungle? I can move to the other side. This thing is itching. Look, the lion itches too. You just can't do anything about it because it doesn't even know what's going on. But a human being did this first year, second year, third year. I can remove this thing. What can I do? It's painful. It's painful. I need something different. What can I use? Gradually, started finding instruments. Before we knew what was happening, must I be under the tree? I can be under something better. let me get some leaves. From there, he created hamlets. From there, he built villages. From villages, he built towns. From towns, he built cities. From cities, he built mega cities. From little villages, he built communities. From communities, he defined his neighbors. He built nations. He built nation states. That's the human mind. And gradually, we left the jungle, and we are now here. The lion is still where we were. If you want to understand where we were, go to the jungle. So we used to be here. We used to live like this. We never used to save because there were no refrigerator. There were no warehouses. If the lion catches antelope today, it must eat all it can because in a few days it's going to be useless, so there's no storage. It can't save. If you cannot save, it's jungle behavior. If you don't know how to save, please take one animal in the jungle and add it to your name. If your name is Fred Amata, add Fred Giraffe Amata. Because you don't save, it's jungle behavior. If you are not an animal in the jungle, part of the proof is that you save. As proof that you are human, you are one of us, you should save. Am I talking to you? So, the ability to experience your world, question it deep enough to find the options. The ability to create options. You look around you and birth options. People say this is the only way. There's no way. There are a million ways every time. That is the proof of your education. Those who are educated are masters of creating options. If you can't create options and you say you are stuck and you are stranded, you are not educated, even with a PhD. Let me tell you something. Confusion is not a psychological state. Confusion is not that you are insane or something is wrong with you when you are confused or you are not together. Confusion actually is not ignorance. Ignorance is a state of cluelessness without options. Confusion is that you have many options. Confusion is the inability or refusal to take a decision in the face of options. Hello? So when you are confused, it's not that you don't know what to do. You know more than one thing to do. You know many things to do, you can't take a decision. That's a confused person. So, to experience your world, question it deep enough to find the options that exist in it, and to be able to embrace the most supremely important of those options. That's what it means to be educated. If you cannot do all of those four things, you are not educated. If you can do all of those four things and you have not gone to school, you are educated. That's why people go to drop out of school, they still become billionaires because they could do those four things. They could question their world. They could experience their world. They could question it. They could find the options in it. And they could know which of those options to embrace as a matter of supreme importance and urgency. That's why they are able to do all they did without the privilege of academics. Now listen. Part of your new growth is to commit to yourself on your own terms. Creating the world you see, the world you prefer. People tell me, I can't do this thing. It's not just what I do. How did you know? Who is that I? When did you meet him? Say, I don't just talk to this kind of people. That's not what I do. How did you know that? I can't go to that place. It's too much for me. I can't do this. How do you know what you can do? Who told you you cannot do that? Who told you what you can do?